Riv, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to ask this question to you, gentlemen. Alistar over to RNG after we had made such a big deal about not giving them that champion, and Mata's made it known. Give me that champion, I will win you the game.
Scrap that. They gave RNG their best champions in every single role. Like, if RNG could go into a blind pick game of League of Legends right now, that is the composition they would lock in. And it just got gifted to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the bans that we see here with Twitch, Sivir, and Kindred. They targeted Whoosh with the 80 carry position and the Twitch Kindred comp, but in order to target that composition, you just need one ban. You don't actually have to do the jungle plus the Twitch, especially when they get the Nidalee on the backside. And now, at that point, they've starved themselves out of Kindred.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kindred ban, I think, is what's really terrifying to me.
Yeah. I mean, overall, you know Alistar is going to be first picked because both supports have shown it's the best champion for them. Both teams have shown they know how to play with it.
Yeah, so whatever else you leave, you're going to get.
Right, and therefore, either this tells us that one, Graves is their preferred jungler for Karsa, and he's like, I actually don't want the Kindred, but I know Mlxg really wants it. My other problem with it is, again, you have 3 junglers open, like Nidalee, Kindred, Graves overall. You ban the Kindred, there's still 2. Again, you just trade.
Right.
You don't gain an advantage. That's the problem with this pick and ban phase. And the start from Flashwolf's side. Everything else, like, it's kind of obvious they wanted to play the Ryze into the Azir. Their own 80 carry is now starved of picks. NL is an old school Caitlyn player.
Legacy.
Yeah, a legacy Caitlyn player. I don't even want to say that because, yeah, he hasn't even really achieved anything on the champion.
Yeah, we can get into some criticisms of NL and the Caitlyn in just a moment, but I do want to touch on the Nidalee because we had some concerns around Nidalee falling down. I mean, not necessarily falling out of, like, contention, but wasn't performing very well at this tournament so far.
Exactly.
But Mlxg put on a show here, Jad.
Nidalee had a losing record coming in. A lot of people were saying, hey, in a teamfight meta, why are you still picking Nidalee who can't be good in teamfights? Because you can still win the game off the back of a good Nidalee. The way Mlxg hard farmed his way 20 CS ahead of Graves, which, by the way, Graves can do nothing about. Nidalee just farms faster than Graves. And then he also converted a few kills, and once that happened, he was 3,000 gold ahead of pretty much everyone else on Flash Wolves, and he just snowballed the game.
We saw that absolutely insane triple kill pickup in the bot lane. I mean, there were a couple moments where it was like maybe Flash Wolves got robbed of a kill in that exchange in terms of the amount of health left over.
But let's talk about ganking teleporting lanes, because double TP is always so crucial in this game, but they go into MMD's lane. That means that most Maple can join, so it's not going to be an uneven team fight. And you can see that, sure, you know, Whoosh survives by the skin of his teeth.
Looper saving the day.
Yeah, but this is just how RNG love to play League of Legends right now. Scrappy. Get in there and just take people out.
And we see an RNG team now who's getting a much better understanding of the macro in this game here, and that's why they're so scary, because they have the fantastic players. They know how to start fights. In this case here, they know they can actually roam down because they already had river control, which means they can just run a much shorter route to the bottom lane and join, where we have the Flashwolf team running from like tier 2 towers through their own jungle all the way down. And those 3, 4, 5 seconds, they matter so much in these early skirmishes because we see one of the members die for Flashwolf before anyone even shows up.
And it's partially based in the Nidalee why we see a faster game, but I also feel like RNG is gaining confidence the longer they stay undefeated.
Yep.
Their first game against CLG, they didn't know what Aurelion Sol did, and they were really on their back feet. Like, that's not probably going to happen again.
Would you still say that's the game they were the closest to losing?
Absolutely, that was a game they're close to learning. Ever since then, they've been getting better and better and better. Their first win against SKT, I think, has really just surged them through the rest of that. And this was the first game that I really saw them snowball it super hard, and it's really scary, the fact that they can now do that as well as win the team fights in the close games.
And let's talk about the fact that RNG was able to pick up first Dragon and Rift Herald, even the second Dragon and second Rift Herald, without seeming to having to sacrifice anything there. Is that more a condemnation of Flash Wolves there and their inability to take an advantage off of it, Deficio?
Yeah, if a team can get both objectives in the river in a lane swap, it's obviously a good job by them, but it's actually a worse job by the other team in the swap. Because what went wrong here for Flash Wolves was, after they're taking the tier 1 top tower, they didn't recall to bottom side. That is perfectly fine. But actually what ends up happening is Karsa stops to clear a pink ward. Meanwhile, he's trying to still rush down to Dragon, but he actually delays himself for like 4 or 5 seconds.
And it's a Graves to kill a pink ward.
It is also a Graves.
2 full reloads.
He comes down to the Dragon, which is a very greedy Dragon by RNG, because it's only Alistar and Nidalee doing it. They already recalled the 80 carries to try and keep up some tempo. He comes down just a few seconds too late. That could have been him smiting it away or killing the Nidalee. That would have been a big advantage. But also then after, Flash Wolves don't realize there are 2 guys on bottom side. MMD didn't push out the top lane, and that meant when they traded for the next tier 2 towers, they actually were even, and Flash Wolves didn't gain any advantage.
And let's take this step further. When they finally do free up side lane farm, it's not MMD getting the gold. They actually try and send NL there, and it just,
Oh,
you know.
I went back and looked at that. NL took 12 CS top lane, while RNG was setting up and pushing bottom lane, and then you're like, wait a minute, I should be bot lane defending right now. And then he moves down, and they lose even more.
So you're saying you don't approve?
I do not approve of Flash Wolves lane
All
swap.
right, Deficio
RNG
does
is
not
better, though.
approve, but
You just
RNG...
have to be better than the other guys.
That's true, and RNG played it well.
That is very much true. Motto to live by, or to play by, rather.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Perfect. Just a little better.
Just a little bit better than everyone else. All right, well, RNG continuing their undefeated run here at MSI. We're going to step away, but meet us back here for our third game of the day as SK Telecom duke it out with Counterlogic Gaming. The mid-season Invitational returns after this.
I'm sorry, I had to set you up for that.
No, it's perfect.
RNG versus Flash Wolves are into our second game of the day. The mid-season Invitational has been an absolutely amazing tournament, and it's only going to provide more here. Fight's going to continue as they push down the lane. 18 minutes in, this is the moment that RNG was able to just take hold of the last game. The bot lane is down, and the DPS has been deleted now for Flash Wolves. A double kill coming in for Xiaohu. He's going to look for another one. The Looper will pick that up. RNG looking to stay undefeated here in Shanghai. And just listen to that crowd as the Nexus goes down. RNG take down Flash Wolves.